Today I'm going to show you how to take lemon cuttings and root them to produce more fruit trees. The unfortunate thing is I lost my camera card that had the footage of me cutting down the lemon branches and putting them in the containers to start to root. So I'm just going to walk you through that process today with actually a plum tree. I'll show you the rooted lemons and stuff and how they're doing now. What you'll do with your lemon cuttings is the same process as you would do with your plum cuttings or any other fruit tree. So let's go do it. My lemon tree cuttings came from 2 branches from a lemon tree that consisted of this year's growth, and then I just cut those branches down into 19 separate cuttings. Take a lot of cuttings because for us, less than a third of them actually rooted. So the first thing that you're going to need to do is take off all of that foliage at the bottom. So I'm going to clip off this little piece of branch, and then I'm just going to take off the other ones right here. So the idea is we want all of the plant's energy to go into developing roots. And that means I'm going to even take off most of this top foliage. Leave a little bit of it for photosynthesis. Like I think I'm going to leave on those 2 smaller leaves. If I just had a couple big leaves, I would cut them right in half. That's what I did with the lemons. They just had bigger leaves and I just cut the leaves in half. So this is what my cutting ultimately looks like. And then I took my pruners and I just scraped off some of the outer, just kind of damaged it a little bit on both sides. I didn't go all the way around, I just did some scrapes on both sides. And of course all this good stuff gets composted to make fertile soil. Now you can use just some sort of a container with the mix in it to root your plants, but I really like this method where you take, this is a water jug and I cut it for winter sowing. If you're not sure what that is, I'll leave a link so you can go see what that's all about. But you take your jug, you take the label off, you cut all but a little piece so that the lid is still attached. And then you put holes in the bottom for drainage. Put your sowing medium in there. Or plant your cuttings, you're going to want multiples. And then you have this nice dome to help keep it humid inside. And I have the lid for this one on, but you would probably want to take it off because you don't want too much condensation, but you do want condensation. If you see there's no condensation at all, you might want to give it a little spritz with a spray bottle. So there are lots of different ideas on what to use for a rooting medium. This one is about 2/3 perlite and about 1/3 of just regular standard potting soil. And we just mixed it up and we put it in here and just got it completely soaking wet like you would for winter sowing, which means you soak it and you see it dripping through the bottom and it just is really saturated. When I transplanted the lemon cuttings once I rooted, this is what I transplanted them out of. So this is actually the medium that I used for those lemon cuttings. I'm just gonna get it completely saturated. I see nothing coming out of the bottom. Give it time to work down. There we go. See, lots coming out of the bottom now. It's ready to plant in. We did use a rooting powder. I believe this was purchased at Home Depot or Tractor Supply. I'm not really sure, but this is the one that we used. I simply stuck it in there. Make a nice hole for your plant. Rooting hormone, pop it inside. Put the lid on, and it is good to go. Now when I did the lemon cuttings, I had one on each corner as well. So I had 5 cuttings in each jug. and then one of my cuttings had 4 because we had 19 total. And then I just placed them inside my room where I have a grow setup, but out of direct light. They just got the edge light, and that's where they stayed for, I think it was about 6 weeks or so before I checked them to see about their rooting. Okay, let's check out the lemon cuttings. I'm gonna pull them out of the pots and show you the roots and then transplant them. I just set it to music because my house is way too loud and there's all kinds of talking and dogs and children, so you can see the process, but there's not any words until the very end. So it has now been about 2 weeks since these guys were transplanted into their containers. And you can see there are blossoms on some of them. Right here, which I will be pinching all of these off because I want it to put all of its energy into the roots. So 4 of them have blossoms and 2 of them do not. But they all look really healthy. So the transplant was successful. Their new house is going to be the hoop house, where they get a lot more bright light than inside. That's all I've got for today, so until next time, see ya.